Hey everyone, welcome to my kitchen. For those of you that are new, my name's Janice and I'm a Thermomix consultant. I'm doing a couple of things today, but first up is I want to make some croissants, and they've got an overnight, like you've got to leave the dough overnight. So I'm going to do that first, and then I'm going to be making chili sauce in my TM7, so I'm going to move it out of the way and I'm going to bring the TM6 in and do some chocolate brownies. But what I want to do is I'm going to make this into two different videos. One is going to be with the croissants and the other one is going to be the chocolate brownies in the TM6. So I don't know which one will come out first, but that's what I'm doing. So I've got it saved to my day. So if you're going to make croissants, just be aware that the recipe on Cookidoo, I think most recipes need an overnight proving period. So I've got all the ingredients I need for the dough, and we're going to start. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is take the lid off and check the bowl, which is empty. Okay, so I need... Now I've made this one before, I do like this recipe. This time I'm going to leave them rise a bit more than I usually do. Because I'm looking at a few tutorials on making croissants, and they seem to be like what I'd consider overproved even. So I'm going to give that a go. Just leave them to prove and see what they're like. 120. And even if that means putting them back in the fridge for an overnight prove, once they're made into croissants, I don't know, but I've got all day to fiddle with them tomorrow. Anyway, now we want some milk, and this is 120 grams. Okay. Oh, and I need a teaspoon measure. I remembered I needed salt too. I didn't get the salt. Okay, so we want 1 teaspoon of fresh yeast, of instant yeast, or 10 grams of fresh. And just down the side, so that it's not going to sit on top of the mixing blade. What do you call it? Yeah, the blade thing. Yes, 500 grams of flour. Now they're saying plain flour. So I'm going to use plain flour for this. Okay, another 100 grams. Perfect. Ten grams of milk powder. Very good. I've tried all different ways of preserving my milk powder, and I've found the best way is to leave it in this nice thick bag it comes in. These are really good sealers, and then just keeping it in the fridge. and I find that it stays in perfect condition for probably even 12 months. Because I don't use it a lot. I mean, I use it when I make yogurt, and in some bread recipes, when I make condensed milk. There's a few things I use it for. Oops. 50 grams. Perfect. 50 grams of unsalted butter, cut into cubes. There, 40, and let's just do that one. 50, that's it, 51. And a teaspoon of salt. Right here. Next. And now that's going to need for 5 minutes. Meanwhile, follow the next steps. Grease a large bowl with butter. Then wait for the Thermomix to finish. And so that's where we're up to. So I'll get a bowl and I'll grease it with butter, and then we're going to put the dough in the fridge overnight. I think we cover it with Glad wrap. See, and we can actually have a look by dragging this down. Transfer dough into the prepared bowl, cover with plastic wrap and refrigerate overnight. And now we've got this down here and it says return or back to current step. So that's how we use our TM7 to read on ahead to see what we're doing next. So right, I'll be back in 5. We're down to 4 now. Okay. That says transfer dough into prepared bowl, cover with plastic wrap and refrigerate overnight. And I was going to do chocolate brownie right now and chili sauce, but I think I'm going to change that to tomorrow. And I think my other recipe for today is it's Sunday dinner tomorrow. And I think I'm going to make a cheesecake for dessert. So that's what I might make now, because a cheesecake is so much more, it's a lot better flavour if you make it the day before. So, and I've just got myself some of the rose gold springform tins from, don't know what that is, but it can come out, from the mix shop. Rightio, so this goes in the fridge and we'll be back tomorrow to continue on with this. Okay, next day, and this has been in the fridge all night, and it says lightly flour, a silicone bread mat or work surface, rolling pin and dough. So I've got a little bit of flour here. Hopefully I don't need more than that. And this is solid. So, okay, I'm going to leave that. Next, roll out into a rough square, approximately 35 centimetres. So I'm pretty sure, I've measured this, I'm pretty sure the rolling pin is 50, and I do know, and this mat is 38 centimetres wide. So, and it says to leave it thicker in the middle. So the first thing I'm going to do is get it a bit squarer. Okay. Now the one thing I have done this morning is I've skipped ahead and I had to get 250 grams of unsalted butter, form it into a 15 by 15 centimetre square, and then refrigerate it. So I did that when I got up this morning, like while I was still getting ready for the day. It was just something I quickly did so that it wouldn't hold me up at this stage. I might come back, I might leave it here, and I'll come back once I get this rolled out. Just want to try and encourage it to be a bit rectangular. Oh yeah. I'm also looking at, I'm doing these croissants, but I also have been looking at other pastries and that, and I really want to try the pain au chocolat, or the round sort of croissant, but it's got chocolate in it. I'm keen to see how easy they are to make. When I was overseas in Europe, it feels like a lifetime ago. I just loved all their pastries. It's quite warm here today. It's early in the morning and we're already up to 26 degrees. They're only predicting a high of 38, but I think it's going to feel like 45. So later on in the day I'm going to have to put all the air conditioners on, I think. And I have been waiting till the weather warmed up a bit to try this recipe again. If I can get them, they're nice. These are delicious, but they're not like the ones you get in, your cafes and that, or restaurants or whatever. Because they're not as flaky, you know, like I want them so that they, you know, when you break them apart, you know, all the big flakes flake off. So, and I'm guessing that's to do with how well you get your butter layered in. Now I'm just going to try and thin these edges out. Because there is some overlap. Okay. We're getting there. Flatten the whole 250 grams of cold butter between 2 sheets of baking paper by hitting with a rolling pin to form a square approximately 15 centimetres. What I did is I got the 250 gram block of butter, cut it into 4 slabs, then fitted it together, and then pushed it out and rolled it out until it was 15 by 15. I'll just grab it. So that's it there. You can see where the joins were. Rightio. Place the flattened butter in the centre. And then fold the corners in, if there's corners, there's sort of corners. I'm going to fold it in tight, and I'm guessing that's why it had to be narrower at the edges. So the butter is completely enclosed. Rightio. Now we've got to roll it out into a rectangle, 50 by 20. I want to maintain a rectangular shape. Okay, 50 by 20. So the rolling pin is, look at that, that's butter. Got to find that butter. Okay, I think, is that 20? That's 20, so now we've got to make it longer. Oh, this is rolling out well. And now, I'm absolutely positive this is a 50 centimetre rolling pin. Okay. What do you reckon? That's getting there. I don't know how much of this I'll this rolling out I'll leave in the video, because I'm pretty sure you've just been looking at my back, trying to get my, get a bit of downward pressure in it. So I'll just give this a stretch. Okay, what's that? Not quite. Okay. Keeping into a rectangle shape. Oh, hang on, sorry. I'm special. Roll out and fold up a third, and then fold down a third. And now what we're going to do now is, now that we've done that, we're going to wrap that in plastic wrap. Oops. And we are going to place it in the fridge for 20 minutes. Now this is going to have a little bit more than 20 minutes because I have got other stuff I've got to do. But it's just chilling it. So once I've got it chilled, we'll come back and we'll roll it out into a 70 by 20 centimetre rectangle. So I think that's, like, what's that? Is that 20? It's a bit more than 20, but that's okay. I'll wrap this up and then I'll be back. Rightio, so this is out. Now, to go back to the recipe, I've just restarted my Thermomix. If I scroll down to recently cooked, it's just there, and then it'll tell me what step I was up to. I was up to step 11 of 17, and then it takes me right back to there. So now it says we're going to roll it out. So I'll just pull this out. Just says a lightly floured work surface. So I'm going to go this way. So I won't make you watch this because it's going to take time to get to. I've got a few air bubbles in there I've got to work out. It'll take, it's not going to, don't know. So what's this here? So this is 60 centimetres long, so it's actually going to be longer than the mat. Righto, and let's see next. And then we're going to fold it up again. We're going to do a book fold this time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this out. I'm going to fold this out. I'm going to roll this out to the correct size, and then I'll come back and show you what I've done because I am going to put my back to the camera here. Okay. So we've got this. It's not quite long enough, but the it's starting to pop, and I don't want any more butter to come out. So we're going to go in and in. So I'll just try and square that up a bit better. So that we can fold it like that. Then we're going to wrap that in plastic and put it back in the fridge. Because we want the butter's a bit soft and it needs to re-firm up. So that is what I'm going to do. Rightio. So this has been in the fridge, but I actually am inclined to put it back in the fridge or even the freezer for a bit longer. But I'm just going to have a go at rolling it out first, but it's quite soft. So I don't want the butter to bust out through the side of the dough. So I'm going to give it a quick, oh hang on, we haven't even turned that back on. To find out what the time is, how big we've got to roll it out to. To get back to that recipe, I go down to recently cooked and then 14 of 17, and we'll see how big we've got to roll this out to. 60 by 30. So this mat is 58 or 59 by 40. So it's nearly the size of the mat. And then I think I'm going to roll it up in the mat like this. Even like that. And put it in the fridge, just because I think it's a little bit soft still. Rightio. So I'm just going to take my time and faff around with it, and then I will be back once we get it rolled out, because I need some flour on this as well. So okay, just going to take my time so I don't squeeze all the butter out like it is there. So I might just, rightio. So I'll be back. Triangles like that. And I'm going to, I have just sort of measured it up. So it says I'm going to get 18. I don't know that I am. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to get like maybe 12 here, plus these end bits here. Like this end bit's a little bit smaller, but the butter's come out of it. So I'm just going to do that with it. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to get 14. Okay, so I'll put that there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut like a little split in that, because I want to try and make them curl. Whoops, I didn't mean to pull that. Rightio. So I'm going to do that. You can't see that with all of them. And once I and then I find if I do that, we get a bit better present thing. Rightio. I still didn't get a real good, but you can definitely see the layers in that. And the other thing I did is I cut the sheet down the middle, and I'm using that I'm getting it just to and I cut the ends off a little bit, and I actually tossed it in the bin because it was all butter oozing out, so I didn't want to well, that's going to be a huge one, isn't it? I didn't want the butter everywhere. So I say this a lot, but if you're working with your silicone mats, don't use a proper knife on it. It's not suitable. What do we got here? Right. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, next it says cover with greased plastic wrap and leave in a warm place until doubled in size, which is approximately 2 to 3 hours. So I will, if these don't rise enough in the next few hours, I'm just going to pop them in the fridge and leave them to rise overnight. Rightio, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14, 15, that's wrong, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, I've got 15. So I've got one extra one off one side. Okay, I'll be back. Once they've risen enough, then we preheat the oven to 190, brush the croissants with beaten egg, then bake 15 to 20 minutes until golden brown. Leave to cool before serving. So I'll be back when these are ready to go into the oven, because we'll add this onto the video, onto the croissant video. So they're all rised and puffed and sort of a bit wobbly. So I'm going to pop them in the oven. I've got the oven preheated to 190, and I'll come back to these once they're cooked. So these are my croissants. I forgot to brush them with egg. I beat the egg up and everything, and I forgot to brush it anyway. So that there. I just want to see they're not super flaky. Like, you know, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. It could be just the recipe I'm using too. See, they're quite bready. They are delicious. But I want them so that they, they're crunchy. And so if anyone out there has got any answers for me, let me know. Because I really would love to make the really flaky, crunchy croissants. Rightio. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, could you please give it a thumbs up, pop over to my channel and subscribe, and I really hope I'll see you next time.